Well, I wouldn't know that.
Along sometimes eko ning sedo tije kumo eka hakilole noma for
Yeah,
ye kunyaje.
yeah,
Ela kumo follow covering ye kumo kumasi. Iko dolu wafita when Amadou Sane was the Minister of Finance. Dolu wafita when Mambure Lebenu Minister of Finance. Iko
yes.
itaka ye Amadou Sane yininka Amadou Sane ko airifa dol another official.
No, he said Ahmad San actually was clear that he wasn't there when you know he wasn't there when um what do I say? He wasn't there when the plane. He was not aware of the sale of the aircraft. But this is not true, of course. I mean, whether he knew about it or not, I can't say
What
for.
do you want to come like more Mustafa Minna coming back to his question? You know, it's like Ning Sifa Fanam Puruka Mol Makoi. We need to know Awafita Jumal Wato Kono, like who was the Minister of Finance at the time, whether
Yeah,
I are
no,
dealing
we know that. We know that.
so who was the Minister of Finance at the time?
So the two planes, the two air tractors, when they were sold,
Yes.
they were sold when Amadou Sane was minister, because Amadou Sane was Minister of Finance until May 2018.
Okay. So saying
Until June 2018. He was moved in June 2018 from Minister of Finance to Ministry of Trade. Then he was relieved somewhere around June 2019. But anyway, in 2019, right? So
so
obviously that we know. Of course, he
so,
claimed he wasn't there, but we know Ahmad was Minister of Finance at that time. That's clear. We know also, I believe, I think, based on records, and I think we provided links to newspapers that shows also this. Mambure was also minister.
left me clear because
Go ahead.
even though I understand Eco is up to the readership for Italy any direction or any interpretation
Yeah.
of this story. So it's
Yes.
up to them. So I saw one commentary, Mia Foko, all this happened during a UDP-led government. So according to that person, I don't know whether it's Alaji Rujalo or someone else, I can't remember exactly. So this happened during UDP-led government, UDP-led coalition government. So, and for Darboe, mulbe ya suite amu UDP supporter, whether he's still a UDP supporter or not, but he was quite prominent, and our association was with UDP. So Nayatra, they sold these planes to him, and on ila investigation on Nata, actually Gali Mimfo, Tonya Tije, he wasn't the only potential buyer, me a better offer the Dobe Nunje, me alone ko I offer the Ming Tambita Tro Dabola offer. So logically, Mola Hakilobe Nola Leko, because he is affiliated to UDP, and at the time, UDP, it held a majority form in the coalition government. So, Amadou Sane was the Minister of Finance at the time. So, whether he was directly involved or not, it's like I Mola Hakilol Nondi. UDP played a part in ensuring Toro Dabo got this deal or not.
So that's a very difficult question to answer. Difficult in the sense that a political party is an entity and an individual is you know it's separate from a political party. So it will be difficult to say UDP was involved. Now, but what is clear and has no doubt is that it does happen when UDP is in power. That there is no question about that, because UDP was fundamentally part of the coalition government. So Ahmad Sane is a member of the UDP. That's also accurate. So whether he was privy to these facts that we have placed in the story, that yes, there were potentials that they could win more on the sale of the aircrafts. That's another story altogether. But he ought to know. I mean, as is a responsibility, the Ministry of Works know, and some of these letters were also sent to State House. So some of the letters we have reviewed were also sent to State House. So I think they should know. The Office of the President should be. I think the Ministry of Finance should be
The
aware.
president at the time,
That
the
should be
president
the no.
at the time, many UDP, so
Definitely.
they didn't
President
part
and
ways.
the UDP at the time
So,
were one and the same.
when
There
I
was
think
no tension before.
I
The
think what this
tension.
story is trying to reveal is the corruption that took place in the sales of Jammeh's assets. But saying Nyandaming, what we are trying to find out is who are culpable in
Yeah,
that.
individual responsibility. Now look,
Exactly.
there are clues in the story.
Exactly.
That
So that's why I said,
Those clues, please.
the evidence CJ inka cluso le noma
Yes,
until we
exactly.
reach the person.
Clues.
So
Yes, the
saying
yes,
clues.
if
but
you mention name,
we cannot get all those things at a go. Like I told you, it's a complex mixed bag of a lot of things. Do you see what I mean? Like I told you, um, um, you know, they go to the sale of the aircrafts. Before we didn't have the evidence that there were better offers. Now we have evidence there were better offers, and we know who was Minister of Finance at that time. So you know, those are important clues. But if you are asking, um, if you are sorry, I got distracted. Somebody sent me a message. So, regarding what you are asking about political parties and their individual responsibility,
no, I'm not saying like political parties are responsible. What I said is like, I have seen, I'm following this story online and people are making comments. And like I said, there's this passing Mingya Foko, this happened during the UDP-led coalition government. So why I UDP particularly mention I Malong, but it is kind of hinting all these things happen during the time of UDP's involvement in governance of the country. And
yeah, but yeah, but also you cannot dispute that. I don't know how
yeah,
you can.
you mentioned you gave me as an example.
Yeah,
If I am responsible for kamotol wafi,
yes.
na muso motol sang inata jeko na muso ya sang when Asis Bojan la muso